evening. This is Tina. How are you doing? In this video, I'm gonna talk about the second style of Thymeleaf page layouts, which is hierarchical. Okay, and there's another style which is called the include style. And if you're interested, you can take my previous Thymeleaf page layout videos. So let's get it started. And as usual, I download a template from the Bootstrap. Which one I download? I go to the Bootstrap. Why is being not being Bootstrap layout examples, and then I go here. And I downloaded this one because it has it's simple, not a lot of content compared to others, and it has the header, center part, and the footer. And after I download, it saved locally, so I'm gonna open it. Okay, and if you directly run in the browser, which is view the page in the browser, you will see exactly the same. Okay. And here also have some CSS JS downloaded. And first, let me show you the project I created. Okay, before I copy those informations. I create a new project, which is the Spring Boot project, and called Thymeleaf layout hierarchical style. And in the project, I only has one controller called index controller. Basically, return have three request mapping method, which return index user admin index those pages. And in the static, I create a new folder or directory on the static for save our CSS. Okay, template so far nothing. Application no configuration override. And in the POM, oh sorry, I have to remove this one. In the POM, I have the Thymeleaf, okay, and I have a Spring Starter Web, the Dev Tools, and the test is which is added automatically when you have a Spring Boot project. Okay, so first let's start with our hierarchical style. And what I'm gonna do is first, for hierarchical style, you must have a template, which is your entire layout. Once you have other index.html decorate on this layout. You have user.html decorate on this layout. Okay, which is totally different the way from compared with include style. So here I will create a layout. No need for HTML. Okay, for the layout you can give a layout title, doesn't matter. Okay, and for now I will not using this one because I'm gonna using the one I downloaded. Okay, otherwise I have to spend a lot of time to create a good style. So I'm gonna create, copy, and save. And once I do this step, we have a layout already. But when I open this file in the browser, you will see all the styles are gone. The reason for that is, for the style we have to apply CSS, and we're using the external CSS. And by default, when we download it, you are looking for the CSS under this folder. But in our project, we don't have this folder. So first, I'm gonna go to the folder to copy these two CSS downloaded along with the HTML, and I put it in my static CSS folder. Okay, so then we have to change this URL to link to the two CSS here. And our current layout.html is on the template. If you want to refer to this files, you have to go up to the resource, then go inside to static, then go inside to CSS, then you can find this too. So we have to using relative URL, go up, go to the parent folder. Now it's gonna be under the resources. then you go to static folder, and then go to CSS folder. Then you can see bootstrap. And next one is we will do exactly same thing for the cover.css. Okay. After you are done, there are something on the bottom which is a link for the JS files. Since we only care about the layout, I will just delete it for them. Okay. If you have JS, you have to do the same thing to make it work when you directly view in the browser. So now when I view in the browser, you will see it works fine. Okay, the style looks like doesn't look like before. Okay, this is before and the style applied. But the problem is now, if I deploy the application, when I deploy application, if I using first for test purpose, okay, I using layout here. Okay, when application starts, it will go to your layout, which display this page, right? Excuse me. It's a little bit slow. Okay, almost there. Okay, localhost 8080. I will make a call to this slash. It will display layout for us. Okay, go here and localhost 8080. You will see the style is not correct. And let's view. Okay, so you can go here. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And you can go to the head. You can go. This is the URL to actually referring to the bootstrap main.css dynamically, okay, from our server. And this is for cover.css. And when we open a new tab, this is the URL to load the cover.css, and you got a 44. 44 means cannot find, because as a Spring Boot project, the standard URL, okay, which is default URL to locate the static resources like CSS, JS, images, it should directly start from your root and the folders on the static. You shouldn't have the static here. Then here you can load your cover.css successfully. So now the question is, for our application, okay, we have two kind of URL for this CSS. One is static, which means you directly view this HTML on the page. The other one is to dynamic, which is when I deploy the application on the server, okay, then how to resolve the CSS correctly. How to make the change? We're using what? th, okay, href. And for doing that, let's give a namespace, okay. Otherwise, it will also work at runtime, but it's gonna give you the red, okay, kind of like an error warning when you work in the IDE, okay. Th, which is Thymeleaf to add a non-standard attribute, th href, and then we're using the link expression to generate our URL dynamically. Okay, and the same thing for this one, href, and still do the same thing for the cover. By doing that, after you change, because Thymeleaf using non-standard attribute, your static, when directly view the page layout.html on the browser, the style works. This is directly view the page, right? And when I deploy in the browser, okay, when I deploy, okay, which is running on the server, it still works for the style. So you have a static and a dynamic. Okay, let's run. This is previously we see, and now you see the thing is works, okay? The styles now working. The next step is we have to using our layout, right? So far it's not a layout. So what we're gonna do is we create a index.html. Yeah. me rename formatter refactor rename. Okay, index.html, and in our index controller, I will return index instead of layout. So this layout.html will never be returned directly in any of your controller request mapping method. Okay, this is for the layout, page layout purpose. It's never directly returned in your controller. Okay, no controller. Next one is I want to our index HTML, user HTML, admin HTML to share the same layout, right? And we don't want to repeat the header, footer, all things. And how to do it in hierarchical style? The first step you have to do is you have to add extra dependency because it's not that's not part inside of the Thymeleaf. It is in the thymleaf-layout-dialect. So we have to add a dependency called the layout-dialect. Comes out. Oh, doesn't it? Oh my god. It was so fast. thymleaf thymeleaf layout. Group ID is too long. I cannot remember. Dialect. Yes, this one. I know the group ID. Okay, I have something here. I think probably is this one. Let's see. Okay, if not, I will do one more time. Seems not. Let's do one more time. Layout. Dialect. Yes, this one. Why it is so fast? Oh my god. Thymeleaf. Okay, this one and this is one what we are looking for. And you didn't to give the version because the Spring parent will find the correct version for you. Okay. After you've done this, then you can using the layout, the non-standard attribute. And as usual, we have to give a namespace. Otherwise, it's gonna give you the warning. Okay. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna using this one is for layout. You can give any URL here, but not the same as this one. And for a standard, we will give the more meaningful URL. And the one is too long, so I have it here. Okay. Okay, I have it here for the layout URL, which basically is what's the group ID you use. Okay, this one. And after do that is we will refactor this part later. We know for the center part, this part is changeable for every page, right? So we will have something here. This main content will be decorated by the actual page returned in the controller methods, which means at the runtime, this piece of content will be replaced by your index.html, user.html, and how to do that? The first thing is for this piece content, you have to leave a placeholder. And once you leave the placeholder here, the other one can insert or decorate on top of that. So how to do that? We have a layout fragment. Then we give a key, unique key, okay, unique key you want. And then in our index.html, this part is done, layout is done. And in our index.html, we will do the same thing. First thing, add a namespace. I don't want type again, so we'll copy from our layout. Okay, and then the next one is you declare your main content. Okay, you can using any HTML tags, and the only thing you have to do is add a layout fragment and make sure this key, okay, you put it here, gonna be the same as the one which you put in your layout. So it should be this one, main content. And then you here you give main content, and let's change this one to be index page. Okay, and here we will give you can give h1 welcome to our home page, right? And next one is, if you do like this, there's no relationship between your index.html and the layout.html, right? There's no relationship. So another thing you have to do here is see if I can make it looks much nicer. Okay, layout.decorate. You have to tell which is the layout you're gonna decorate from this index.html. Then you can give layout. This one referring to this layout.html. You can also using fragment expression, which is a new feature added in Thymeleaf 3 layout. It is also referring to the layout.html. So now our index controller is already changed, right? And this is our layout, and we have index.html decorate on this layout. Now let's stop and rerun and see if it will actually welcome to our home page, not this part, right? And I think it's deployed successfully. And go back to the browser, and this is a previously layout without change, and run. You will see welcome to our home page, but you still get the feature of the entire style and also the cover also the header and also the footer, right? And suppose later on you have a user.html, which is returned by the /user. What you can do is just create a user.html. Okay, then you change what you change. Okay, here it's gonna be the user page, and then here you welcome to our user page. Okay, not a home page. Let's change this one to be another symbol. Okay, like this. Okay. And let's redeploy. Okay, and it goes back to the browser. This is localhost 8080, remains no change, and we'll make another call to the user/user. You will get welcome to the user page. So by doing that, you have one place for the layout, and all other pages will decorate on the layout, and which is different from the include the style. Okay. And normally we will organize our files in different purpose. Normally when you have a layout, you will have kind of like another directory called layout. Okay, and then you will put your layout inside the layout. Okay, and by doing that, you have also to make changes inside your index and the user.html. Let's make a change. Okay, so this one will be layout folder, then layout, right? And the same thing. The first one is a folder, the second one referring to layout.html. How about let me change the name so it's gonna be more clear. Okay, page layout. Okay, so okay, it's very smart, intelligent. This is the folder name, and this is the page name. Okay, layout name, and you have to do the corresponding change inside here, layout, then you layout HTML. Okay, and next step is sometimes we prefer our header and the footer to be in a separate folder, kind of like a single responsibility. Okay, so what we can do is we can do the similar things as you did inside the include style. You create a header.html, and you create a footer.html. Okay, and what is a header? Header should be this part, will be your header, right? This is your header, And then in your layout, you will referring to the content in the header. And how to do that? Okay, what we did is here we give a th fragment. Okay, I don't have thc. When you're using th, it have a red because we don't have the namespace. So first we will have a namespace, and here we will have a namespace here, and then you using th fragment, you can give a name like a header. Okay, and how to refer, if you are still not familiar, go to the include style. Okay, how to refer, we can change it to this part only has one. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is here using th replace, you can have three. You can replace for what? Header. Okay, and this is the syntax is the first one is the file's name and the header. The first one is a header.html, the second one is the fragment. Okay, and after you do that, you will have the same as you do in the footer. So first thing, which is you can delete this part if you want. You can delete this part because we are not gonna use in this one. Okay, will be replaced. Footer here will be replaced. Okay. Yo, do I have a footer copied already? I don't have. So let me go to here. I copy a footer. Sorry. I removed it too fast. I'll copy this footer. Then go to my footer, right? Go to my footer. And the same thing. Here you add a namespace. I'll copy from here. Add a namespace here. And then here you give a th fragment. Okay. And call the footer. And you go back to your layout. And then you change this part to make sure this part at runtime gonna replaced by using footer html dot footer. Okay, which is the th replace. You can use include, insert, replace footer dot html, and the syntax for looking for footer component. And everything so far we have done. And when we run, probably we will see an error. Okay, run successfully. So I'm gonna make a call to index.html. Okay, now it's decorated on page layout. Index.html, this one. You will see an error, and let's take a look at error. First is 500, which you have internal server error. Something is happening on the code, and the main part is this part. Template input expression error resolving template header. It cannot find a header, and the template might not exist and might not be accessible by any of the resolver. Okay, which means it cannot find that header.html, which is the header component. This was also surprised me because as I was thinking about is our layout, footer and header are in the same folder, right? We just using what? The relative URL. Because they are same folder, we're using a relative URL, so it started with just a footer. But actually not. When using th replace, everything has to be absolute URL. The other solution, the other thinking, I was thinking probably from because we return in the index controller, what we return is what? We return index.html, right? And index.html is decorated on the layout. So from index.html to locate for header and footer, we have to add a page layout, right? So when the first solution I had is you can do like this way, page. Let me copy from here. I don't want to write. What I have is we can use in page layout. Okay, layout. Okay, slash, which means I return index.html. Then to access the header, I have to use in page layout index header dot header. Okay, and then I go here. I using this one footer, and let's try if it works. Okay, and let's go back. Now it works, but the style is slightly doesn't work. Let me take a look at why the style doesn't work. The style, did I using the style here only has a static content now. It doesn't have the relative UI, so we might make some changes. Okay, so let's go back to the layout. The layout here we have to move. Okay, I think probably when I drag this one to the page layout it changes. So let's redeploy again. So let's run one more time. And you can see the style exists and the exception goes away. But the idea behind that, it's not like that. Okay, this page layout we add here is not because it's a relative to the index HTML. Okay, it is actually the absolute URL because there are other scenario like this. Okay, I have another scenario here. When I using /admin/index, right, it will return to admin package and index, which means under the template you're gonna have admin package, and under admin you're gonna have index.html. Okay, and this one will go to our admin, okay, indexed page, right? And let me change this one to be something else. Let's do this one. Okay, and by doing this one, and how from this index HTML to refer to the header, you have to go out to the templates and then go inside the layout. So which means from index.html to access header, and from this index.html to access header, the URL inside your layout.html or this part is different. Then it doesn't work, which means all your pages has to be inside one folder. It doesn't work if you have some pages directly on the template, some are under the admin or other packages. So the idea behind this part is not relative based on the HTML you returned in the controller. It's actually the absolute URL to access this page. By default, the Spring Boot, we are looking for the HTML under the templates folder, right? So the absolute URL actually referring to this header is gonna be /page layout /header. And the same thing for the footer and same thing for the header. So keep in mind, this page layout here, this part here is the absolute URL to looking for header.html. It's not a relative URL. So now if I have admin index.html, you can still decorate on the layout, okay, page layout. Do I need to go one? I think we have to go one package and then page layout, right? And then go to here, layout, layout. Okay. Oh, this one also bring a question. Let me with no change and see if it works. Okay. Because I didn't check the API. This part is the absolute URL or relative URL. Okay. So here I create admin directs. So if I make a call to /admin/index, it will go to this admin index HTML and see if it works. Okay. I think it's finished, and I will go to this one. Okay, and let's visit our user page. Also works. Okay, and the next one we'll go to admin/index. Still works. So that brings the thing. For layout decorate, it is still using absolute URL, because if you're using relative URL, it's gonna go to the top, which is a template, then we'll go to the layout. But here we don't have this thing here, right? So it's gonna be using the absolute URL. And this is how we using the hierarchical style to do the page layouts. You have a layout, okay, HTML, which declare what kind of the entire structure of your layout, and you have other pages decorate on this layout. And then inside of your layout, you can also separate your header and your footer, okay? And the last question is this part, title. And by default for Spring Boot and by default for the Thymeleaf engine, when you return index user admin index, it will always using the title here, index page and the user page, and also this one let using admin page. Okay, let me replay. And when I do that, and then we go back to access our page, you will see here. Okay, you will see here is admin page, right? The title, and then if I go to index, this one, just this one, you will see index page. Then if I go to user, you will see user page. It will grab what's the page title which you returned in the controller. But sometimes you also want to refer as a general pattern. You also want to have this title, which is called, let me show you, layout title. Layout, you want to have a title which is a combination of the page title, which is this page title, and also the layout title. How to do that? We have some formula which is called the layout, have something called title pattern. Okay, then you can use it. Suppose what's the variable to refer to this one? Then it's gonna using layout title, and this variable will always refer to this string. Okay, and how to refer to this each page's title? It has another variable. We can add some pattern like using a hyphen here, and we have another one called content title. And this content title is another variable, but it's changeable. For every page, index page, it will referring index.page, and user page, the content title will referring to user page. So let me redeploy, and you will see the change. Okay. This is the previously user page. You will see like this, and let me make another tab. You will see layout title hyphen user page, and it's a combination between your layout title, and hyphen is the pattern you give. Okay, and then the content title. If we go to index, you will see layout title index page, and if we go to admin, admin index, you will see layout title admin page. Okay, so this is a pattern when using the layout dialect. So at the end, I want to summarize what we have done so far. In order to using hierarchical style to do the page layout in Thymeleaf, you have to add some extra configurations. First, you have to add extra dependency, okay, because it's not a part of this Thymeleaf. Second, for layout, you have to add this layout namespace in order to using layout title, and for other pages to decorate, just using layout fragment, it will gonna create a placeholder here, and in your individual page returned in the controller, it's gonna decorate on this content, okay, this piece of information. And then you create your page want to return from your controller, and then you decorate on your layout, and make sure all the URL here is absolute URL, which means directly start from your templates, okay. You just looking from your templates and looking down what's a URL to refer in header, it's gonna be page layout header. What's a URL to layout, it's gonna be page layout, okay. And then you're using layout fragment to decorate, okay, to replace the content you leave inside your layout.html. And what's the benefit compared with the inline style? So with inline style, it's more suitable for the small applications, which means you don't have lots of pages. Because with, sorry, not an inline style, I always say inline style, with include style, okay? Include style for every page, like for every index.html, use.html, index.html, you have to have include header, include footer, and you have your center part content. And with hierarchical style, it's more suitable for a big application, because there is a kind of like a no duplication code. You don't need to repeat for those include header, include footer. The only part you include the other information is for the shared components, okay. For the shared components, the only part you have include is inside your layout.html. So if you change in your layout.html, it's gonna be changed for entire application, okay. You don't need to go to every page, okay, the controller return the page to change to referring to another header.html. Suppose later on you change a header to be header version 2, and you just new change here in your layout to change to be version 2, right? There is no changes on index user and index.html, but this is not achievable inside when using include style, okay. Anyway, so if you still have question on the include style and hierarchical style about doing the Thymeleaf page layouts, you can leave a comment, and the source code of this project, you can find the link in the description. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.